Surely such a utilitarian as watering flowers is rather the gardener's duty than yours. Especially on a moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is on the table. Pray open it at page 15. We'll repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. Isn't it all a becoming language? And I know perfectly well that I look quite plain after my German lesson.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He lays particular stress on your German as he was leaving for town yesterday. Indeed, he always lays stress on your German when he's leaving for town.
Dear Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he is so serious I do not think he can be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health. His gravity of demeanor is to be especially commended in one so comparatively young as he is. I know no one who has a higher sense of duty and responsibility.
I suppose that is why he often looks a little bored when we're through together.
President, I'm surprised at you. Mr. Worthing had many troubles in his life. Idle merriment and triviality will be out of place in the conversation. And you must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother.
I do wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come visit us sometimes. I'm sure we would have a good influence over him, Miss Prison. And you certainly would. You know German and geology and things of that kind influence a man very much.
I do not think that Alan's desire to produce an effect on a character that, according to his own brother's admission, is heretofore weak and vacillating. Indeed, I'm not sure that I would desire to reclaim him. I am not in favor of this modern mania for turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so shall he reap. You must put away your diary, Cecily. I really don't see why you should keep a diary at all.
I keep a diary in order to capture the wonderful secrets of my life. If I didn't write them down, I should probably forget all about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry about with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles the things that have never happened and couldn't possibly have happened. I believe that memory is responsible for nearly all three-volume novels that people are writing.
Do not speak slightly of the three-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in early days.
Did you really, Mrs. Prism? How wonderfully clever you are. I hope it did not end happily. I do not like novels that end happily. They depress me so much.
The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
Well, I suppose so, but it seems rather unfair. Was your novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript, unfortunately, was abandoned. I use the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. To your word, child, these speculations are profitless.
But I see dear Dr. Chasuble coming up through the garden.
Dr. Chasuble, this is indeed a surprise.
Hello, dear Miss Prism. I trust you are well.
Miss Prism has just been complaining of a slight headache. I think it would do her so much good to have a short stroll with you in the park, Dr. Chasuble.
Cecily, I have not mentioned anything about a headache.
No, dear Miss Prism, but I felt instinctively that you had a headache. In fact, I was thinking about that and not my German lesson when the rector came in.
Cecily, I hope you are not inattentive.
I'm afraid I am.
That is strange. Were I lucky enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. Oh, I spoke metaphorically, of course. The metaphor was drawn from bees. But, where is Mr. Worthing? I suppose he's in town right now.
We do not expect him till Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes. Mr. Worthing certainly enjoys spending his afternoons in London. He is not one of those whose sole aim in life is pleasure, like that unfortunate young man his brother seems to be by all accounts. But I must not digress. I will leave Egeria and her pupil alone.
Egeria? My name is Letitia.
Merely a classical allusion drawn from the pagan authors. Well, we'll meet no doubt at evensong if you excuse me.
I think, dear doctor, that I will have a show with you. I find I have a headache after all, and a walk might do good.
Well, that is great. We may go as far as the schools and back.
That would be delightful. Cecily, you will read your political economy in my absence. The chapter on the fall of Rupee you may omit. It is somewhat too sensational. Even these metallic problems have their melodramatic side.
Horrid political economy, horrid geography, horrid German.
Mr. Ernest Worthing has just driven over from the station. He has brought his luggage with him.
Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4, the Albany W. Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him he was in town?
Yes, miss. I told him that you and Miss Prism were in the garden. He seemed very much disappointed.
Well, ask Mr. Ernest Worthing to come out here. And I suppose you had better talk to the housekeeper about a room for him.
Yes, miss.
I have never met any really wicked person before. I'm so afraid he will look just like everyone else. He does!
Cecily, I am sure.
You are in just some strange mistake. I am not little. In fact, I believe I am more than usually tall for my age. You, I see from your card, are Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest. My wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, I am not really wicked. You mustn't think that I'm wicked, Cousin Cecily.
You are not, and you certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you have not been living a double life, pretending to be wicked and being really good all the time. Well, that would be hypocrisy.
Well, of course I have been rather reckless.
I am glad to hear it.
In fact, now that you mention it, I've been very bad in my own small way.
I do not think you should be so proud of that, though I'm sure it must have been quite pleasant.
It is much pleasanter being here with you.
Can't understand how you were here at all. Uncle Jack will be back until Monday afternoon.
Well, that is a great disappointment to me. I'm obliged to go by the first train Monday. I have a business appointment that I'm anxious to miss.
Couldn't you miss it anywhere but in London?
No, the appointment is in London.
Well, I know, of course, how important it is not to keep a business engagement if one wants to retain any sense of the beauty in life. But I still think you had better go. No, don't. I think you should wait until Uncle Jack arrives. I know he wants to talk to you about your emigrating.
About my what?
You're emigrating. He's gone up to buy your outfit.
I certainly will not let Jack buy my outfit. He has no taste in neckties at all.
I don't think he will require neckties. Uncle is sending you to Australia.
Australia? I'd sooner die.
Well, he said at dinner on Wednesday night that you have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, the accounts I have heard of Australia and the next world are not particularly encouraging. This world is good enough for me, Cousin Cecily.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
I'm afraid I'm not that. That is why I'd like you to reform me, Cousin Cecily. You might make that your mission if you don't mind.
I'm afraid I have no time this afternoon.
Well, then would you mind my reforming myself this afternoon?
It was rather quixotic of you, but I think you should try.
I will. I feel better already.
You are looking a little worse.
That is because I'm hungry.
How thoughtless of me. I should have remembered that one wouldn't go on to lead an entirely new life. One requires regular and wholesome meals. Won't you?
Might I have a buttonhole first? I never have an appetite unless I have a buttonhole first.
A marshal meal?
No, I'd sooner have a pink rose.
Why?
Because you are like a pink rose, Cousin Cecily.
I don't think it could be right for you to say such things to me. Miss Prism never said such things to me.
Well then, Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady.
Miss Prism says all the hooks are a snare.
They are a snare that every sensible man would like to be caught in.
I don't think I would care to catch a sensible man. I shouldn't care to know what to talk to you about.
You are too much alone, dear Dr. Choswell. You should get married. Mrs. Rob, I can understand the woman would never.
Believe me, as an undeserved from neologistic a phrase, the practice and the precept of the primitive church is distinctly against marriage.
That is obviously the reason why the primitive church has not lasted up until the present day. As you do not seem to realize, dear doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation. Men should be more careful. This very celibacy leads weaker vessels astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive, except to his wife.
And often I've heard, not even to her.
Intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can always be dependent on ripeness, can be trusted. Young women are green. I suppose horticulturally my metaphor is drawn from fruits. But what acceptably?
Perhaps she followed us to the schools.
Mr. Worthing?
Mr. Worthing.
This is indeed a surprise. We did not look for you till Monday afternoon.
I returned quite sooner than I expected to. You are quite well, I hope, Dr. Cheswell.
Young sir, I hope this garb of woe does not betoken some serious calamity.
My brother,
More shameful nets and extravagance?
Still leading his life of pleasure.
dead.
Your brother Ernest, dead.